So
I have sway.
now that we've you guys have narrowed in on this
sway.
target, everybody's kind of agreed that this RK fellow is who you're going
too.
after. Take a look at the bottom of your character sheets. At the bottom of your sheets there, you'll see a list of 6 plans. It's underneath planning and load.
Mm-hmm.
You want to choose one of these 6 plans, give me the specific detail that's written there in italics, and then we're going to make something called an engagement roll, and then we're just going to jump, smash cut, right to the score, right to the beginning of the score. You're going to be right there at RK's house or wherever he may be dealing with him. So this is the part of the system that's going to feel a little jarring at first because some of you might be used to planning things out more. It's fine if you have ideas that you want to bring up as we go along, but we don't want to plan too long. We want to cut out the minutia here and get to the exciting stuff as soon as possible. So take a look at each of those 6 plans and ask me questions about them. Ask me information you think your characters would know. I might tell you you need to make some gather information rolls about it. I might tell you just know it. And discuss amongst yourselves which one you think is the best choice for getting RK on your side.
So we're picking a plan where our goal is to
get this informant to give us information.
You want to turn him from the wraiths to your side, yes, because he's currently informing on the nobles and stuff in Charterhall to the wraiths, and you want him to inform to you instead.
Well, then he needs to be turned away from the wraiths for some reason.
And you said he's already kind of
what does
anxious
he
to get out from under their thumb?
He's not. No, he's not anxious at all. But you know that he was willing to inform because he's doing it already.
Okay.
So...
Well, one of these 6 is clearly the one we choose because it's social connection.
Well, he's likely to be a person that
could be.
will stay around as long as the getting is good.
Well, see,
If he ends up not getting benefit out of something, he's probably not going to stay on someone's side.
Right. So, don't pick a plan that you think is the smartest one. Pick a plan that you think is the most fun and most exciting.
Stealth.
What?
Wait, what? How would you stealth
one that also makes
information out out of him?
What about deception to convince him that the hounds, right?
The wraiths.
The wraiths. That the wraiths betrayed him in some way, betrayed his trust.
That's a good idea.
The most thing that would be fun to me would to make them look like idiots, and then somebody swoop in and be like, "Hey, look at these idiots! Be with us instead."
What if
that sounds like a great way to get the wraiths against us?
But that's if they know that it's us.
What if we figure out where and how
we have to make it look
he and the wraiths meet up, and then we send him a fake request for a meetup, and then just have the police show up?
How will we get information?
So it seems to him that the wraiths set him up.
Oh, okay. I thought the actual police where he gets arrested and then we lose him as an informant.
I think he'll get arrested.
Are you guys?
Not that he would get arrested.
I dress up as a police officer.
Are you guys going to pretend to be cops?
Yeah, you could be a police officer.
Oh, we could be dirty cops.
You'd all have to impersonate.
And then I take him in. And then you stop me. You stop me, and then you were like, "We just saved you from that cop."
Okay, so hold on. The nature. Hold on a sec, though. The nature of this deception that you're suggesting is that the bluecoats would find out that he's talking to these folks, right? So if he gets there and then you reveal yourselves as non-bluecoats, he's not going to think that the wraiths betrayed him at all.
No. What I'm saying is.
I rescue him
from the
cops.
And then,
you can trust us.
I get the heck out of there, and then the rest of them are like...
I do a wheel and deal with the cop, and I'm
hey, man, it's not safe right now. How about you come back to our blah, 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 and then we talk this, and then we have a nice converson with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas I then...
Or we just arrest him and interrogate him.
No.
No.
I'm about to arrest him, and then it's then I get off, and then...
Who has points in rec?
Not...
I have one.
I don't think.
I have 1 point in rec.
Okay.
We figured you're down.
No, not already.
The cop.
We're saving that for episode 2.
I like this plan. So basically,
I want every one of our plans.
So step 1 is...
but I love it.
Step 1 is have him meet up somewhere where the rest of the wraiths won't be there. Step 2 is I arrive and I am about to arrest him. And then step 3 is that you guys swoop in and save him, and I make my escape. And then I'll probably just go back to the hideout.
Yeah, and be there.
De-disguise.
I'm going to, I think...
While you guys talk with him about...
I think the way I'm
how
going to get you
great you guys are.
is to pay you off so that it appears to him that helping us will not put him in danger of actually getting arrested.
Okay.
Because, like, if it's, like, it looks like I'm, paying this blue coat off, but, like, even, especially, like, if I establish that you know me, he might be more likely to do work with us because he is less worried about heat from the blue coats.
Basically, you can get whatever you want out of me because I'm going to react however
I want you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like the first step is that we have to get some dirt on this guy. Like, why on earth would he be on anyone's radar to begin with? Like,
he's an informant. So he works for the Sparkrights. If it was discovered that he was informing to a gang of thieves when he works for the noble institution of the Sparkrights, that'd be really bad for him.
Okay, so that's already kind of a known thing. Like, he can't just have a buddy. It's like, oh yeah, today at work I saw like Lady Godiva naked in the second floor. That kind of thing is like...
I mean, they might say that to other Sparkrights, but saying it to a gang of thieves for the purpose of them using it to rob people, that's pretty unethical.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, would it be known? Like, what if he's just an unknown patsy? Like, he just has a buddy that he chit-chats with?
No, what do you mean, would it be known?
Like would it be known that he is an informant?
Oh, yeah, he knows he's an informant.
Okay.
Yes, he's getting paid for this work.
Oh, okay, he is. All right.
Okay. So the first thing I think we need to do is figure out when and how he contacts the Wraiths. And so we need to be able to convincingly create a false invitation for
I'm going to say that he probably
false reason
has
and note.
Like a tavern or a bar that he's in, and then whenever they need information for him to meet with him, someone like comes and like slips him something at the bar or something like that.
You want to try to gather information to figure out if that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, we need to.
I don't know. Like if we
decide.
What I'm saying is, I don't know if we as a team decide that, or if that's something you as a GM decide.
No, yeah, you'll have to gather information to figure out how it works.
Okay.
If you knew how it worked and you asked me the question, I would just tell you, or I'd say, let's have you make a roll and figure out.
Yeah, we're
okay.
gonna
I just want to know
stake
exactly
out
what we
a
need
place.
to do.
Yeah,
one or two of us.
This is a different sort of dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm used to.
And also, not all of us should be there, like, trying to convince him, because not all of us are going to be great at convincing.
This isn't convincing.
I'm not there.
We are right now just getting information on how he even contacts them, so that we can deceive him. We can put this in.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about the putting on the act.
Yeah, for
later.
Sure.
Because I don't think I'm going to be able to bluff my way through anything.
But at the actual score, everybody should be there in some capacity.
Like nearby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is his turf? Like, do we know that he hangs out?
Charter Hall.
Okay, so it's a place we're not uncommonly at.
Yes.
The Sparkrights are in Charter Hall.
So in that case, since he has a Charter Hall, it seems like we would want to follow him.
Yeah.
Right, to find out what he does.
It all depends. Like, who's getting this information? How are you getting the information? Let me know. Tell me how you're doing this.
So I'd be good at following him because I have finesse and prowl.
Well, I think what I'm saying is like, I don't know. I feel like we need some like information from you as to like to know we don't know anything about him. So
you could follow him around to see where he goes.
Okay.
To gather the information. You could try reaching out in your web and contacting some other informants in Charter Hall to see if they've ever heard of where this guy meets up with the race. Maybe Ophelia knows something. She could talk to them. Maybe Nick, maybe you could talk to Petra about this. Maybe you could get a disguise on and go ask locals. Like, there's a whole wealth of options.
I'll go talk to Petra about it. Why not?
Okay, so you wanna do this?
Is he like a head of the Sparkrights or just
no? He's a lower ranking member.
So low that
he's unlikely that she would know him though.
Can we double up? Like, can we say, oh look, Marco has the ability to make contacts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My main skill is being small and prowlish, so I'll follow him.
Yeah, you totally can.
Okay, so let's do at least both of those things.
Okay, go ahead and let me know how you're doing those and what you're doing.
So I'm going to be at Charter Hall on any number of my usual reasons for being there, either paying off government officials,
and having mask and gloves. Or...
No, this is me as myself. Because I'm there on official business, and then
wait, like for your family?
Yeah, because basically we constantly are like having meetups and say, "Oh, Councilman so and so, have you decided if you're coming to this soiree?" Just wanted to check that our donation to your campaign has gotten in.
And then they're like, why is the 12-year-old child doing all these business?
Yeah. Well, they know I'm the only survivor of my family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very
rude
to say something.
And even though I'm kind of young and they think they can still manipulate me, I still know the family business a bit.
Maybe.
So they like talk down to you a lot. They're like
a little bit, but
like,
Bruce,
this little kid is trying to, you know.
Well, do they talk down to you, or are they creeped out by you?
Both, because they think that.
Oh, do you talk in like a monotone, and you're like,
well,
you're like albino and bald or something.
It's a strange relationship because my family is wealthy and powerful, but my parents are dead. So they're like, here's that creepy kid that we always thought, well, you know, we kind of wanted to avoid him, but now he's the one who, if he reaches the age of majority, is going to control all this stuff. So they're a little bit afraid that they can't be mean to me, but they not talk to me. At the same time, Bruce is encouraging me to start doing these things because I have to step up and get used to playing the Game of Thrones.
Right.
And so he says, oh, you should go there, and he'll say, oh, this is so-and-so, you should bring a gift to, like, make that connection, but also to remind them that you're still around and they can't start like turning to other families or things like that for their connections, because the Arkadies are still powerful, and don't think that just because your mom and dad were killed that we're not going to be a strong house anymore.
Right. Yes.
So so I would do that, but then using that as an excuse to be at Charter Hall, if I see RK, I would then go into stealth mode and then try to follow him. Which
you do. Okay, right. So you see him wandering around. He's probably actually on the job. He's probably working at this time. And he's like checking out the local like electrical lights, you know, pulling them down. He's like he's a dark skin kind of guy. He's probably from the Dagger Isles, like Ryan's character is. He's got like this swept back kind of blondish hair. Wears like the Sparkrights uniform with the tri-cap, that sort of thing.
Okay. I just want to make sure. This is RK as in, like...
Not Arkady. Just RK.
But RK like the name, not like
Letters?
RK Post. RK.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. ARKAY.
Okay, so, okay. Because they're like, oh, maybe he's just an initials guy. It's like, yeah, I'm just RK Post.
Yeah.
Okay, so... as long as he's just doing regular stuff, I'll just kind of innocuously keep him out in the corner of my eye or stuff like that. But my key is to try to be there around the time where I think their shift ends and he's going to go home or like be on his own time.
Yeah. So you need to choose which action you're going to use to accomplish this, whichever one seems most fictionally appropriate. And
I will use stealth.
Well, which action? You have a list of 12 actions there.
Oh, prowl.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still getting the terminology. Yeah.
You have a list of 12 actions there, and then you roll your dice for that. But hold on. So dice rolls, when we roll dice in this game, it's really important that we talk about what it means before we do it. And it's important that I give you guys the position and effect. Never roll dice before I tell you what those are, because I sometimes forget. You need to make sure you get that out of me. And then we can negotiate about what you can do to better your effect, maybe, or maybe if you use a different action roll, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So for now, I'm going to say that this is the standard thing that goes for default in Rolls and Blades in the Dark. It's risky standard, right?
Okay.
He might, because you're albino, right? He might see you. People know kind of who you are in Charter Hall, so they're going to be weirded out if you get spotted. So that's the risk, right? Yep. And it's standard effect because you're not going to get great effect and you're not going to get limited, right?
Sure.
So.
Yeah, the key is I'm just looking for enough information to say, oh look, this is where he goes, or he hangs out at this bar in the corner, or he takes a left turn at this dark alley and for some reason always has something that he didn't have before when he leaves the alley or something, that kind of thing.
So there's a mechanic in this game called stress. I believe I explained it last time.
Yes.
Everybody understands how stress works?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it's like experience and harm at the same time.
It's not experience. So stress is a resource you have that you can spend to make your rolls better. In certain ways. It's also, you can also spend it to use certain abilities and such.
Right.
If you take 9 stress, you erase the stress and gain a level of trauma, which we'll get to more of what that means when somebody gains one. If you gain
permanent.
Yes, it's permanent. And if you gain 4 levels of trauma, your character retires from their life of crime.
Oh.
Yes. But in any roll in Blades in the Dark, you can always push yourself, which means you pay 2 stress and you get an extra dice to roll for any action you want to take. And you can pay stress for other things, but that's the most important one here. Or you can ask me for a devil's bargain, or somebody else around the table can suggest devil's bargain. A devil's bargain is something you do instead of pushing yourself It gives you a bonus dice, but something else happens whether you make the roll or not. So in this case, it'd be like, I'm trying to think of a good one for this, but in this case, it'd be like, yeah, you follow Arkady.
So it could be something like, I'm willing for him to actually recognize me, or
well, no, because the prowl roll is for him not to.
Oh, okay,
see
so
you,
it can't be.
right?
Okay, so it's not. Okay, gotcha.
It has to be something that can take place whether the roll succeeds or fails.
Gotcha.
Would the devil's bargain be like one of the ghosts takes you into the ghost fields?
That's pretty extreme.
So you're like
that
Gotcha.
completely unseen, but you like come back like mentally scarred from the ghost field.
We could make it that a devil's bargain is that while you're like prowling about, one of the local clerks, not noble, like a clerk, sees you prowling about following this guy, wonders what's going on.
Yeah. What are you doing?
They might not approach you, but it's gonna create echoes that cause reverberations later. It might gain more heat for the crew.
Or like people who respect you are like, why was he like crawling around?
That might actually make me start a clock. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. If you take this devil's bargain, I'm gonna start a 6 clock.
I feel like there's so much stuff happening.
Don't worry, I am not going to take advantage of devil's bargain.
I feel like there's a lot of explanation.
It's like too dangerous and too risky, and I don't want to use it now.
Do it.
All right.
No,
I
stop
suggest devil's bargain.
Marco, you small town boys of your like senses.
You get a free dice.
You all think you're Clark Kent.
Okay, so you don't want to take the devil's bargain.
No.
Nobody has a better
too many options.
I do also have one question though. Mm-hmm. Is trauma permanent? Is there in-game mechanics for getting rid of it?
Nope, it's permanent. You can.
That's why you
stress can be reduced.
That's why you get 4 of them.
That's what indulging your vice is all about. You could start a long-term project to create a device that releases trauma.
Right.
That's a suggestion in the book.
Right.
But that would be super involved.
A device and, like a therapist.
And each trauma comes with an in-game consequence, right?
Yeah, it comes with you circle one of those, and it gives you something else you can role play for experience.
Catapult.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the standard no devil's bargain, no pushing.
Okay.
Save the trauma.
Risky
for your
standard.
mom.
Yeah.
Risky standard. Here we go.
Yep. All right. Risky standard. Here we go. I'm going to follow him and see what there is to be learned about him.
What about risque standard?
That's if I discover that his contact has a better tramp stamp than I do.
You don't. I'm not.
That would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate devil's bargain.
It is canon.
That's not established.
Established fiction.
All right. So that's 2 5s.
Okay, so
I don't remember what I wanted to roll, so I just rolled dice for no reason.
So you take the highest dice you roll among the dice you get.
That is an easy decision. I would choose 5.
Right. Well, you always have to take the highest one. Your position determines certain things that happen. On a 6, no matter what your position, you get what you wanted. It plays out to the effect I stated. On a 4 or 5, you get what you wanted, but you pay a cost for it. So there's a consequence. You suffer harm. There's a slight.
It sounds like a devil's bargain.
Extreme.
On a 1 to 3, you don't get what you wanted, and something extra bad happens. You fail forward.
Okay.
So
a
5.
Very intense rolling system.
So the consequences are they? Yeah, it's like Will said. Are they just like a devil's bargain, or are they usually less bad?
No, they're usually worse than the devil's bargain. So,
really?
Yeah, the consequences can be
How
anything.
do you do anything in this game?
The consequences, you can do a lot. You guys are super cool and powerful. Trust me. Like, don't feel like it limits you.
I think you just got to use stress a lot.
I don't know about that.
So the consequences, you suffer harm. You have reduced effect. You end up in a worse position. It takes extra time. You lose an opportunity. There's a complication. I make a clock, take some segments, say something else.
Do we get to choose, or is that up to you?
No, that's up to me.
Oh no.
And I can afflict you with one or many consequences. My decision. But because it's risky, that determines the
GM favored game.
Well, but because it's risky, that determines the level of the consequences. Sure. So at risky, I can't go above level 2 harm, for example.
Okay,
right. Tired. So risky, I'm gonna just keep it simple for this one and say that he doesn't see you because you got what you wanted, right? Okay. But a couple of the other like members of the underworld in Charter Hall, some of the thieves and stuff who wander around there, would notice you following this person they kind of know to be an informant to the Wraiths, and they tie it back to the crew. So I'm gonna say you gain the crew 2 heat as a consequence.
All right.
On a 5.
What?
Yeah. So
that means that like basically unless you roll a 6, everybody's gonna notice everything that you do. Basically.
No. Because the consequence isn't always going to be gaining heat. It could be a variety of things.
It could be a lot worse.
Killed.
It can't be getting killed.
It could be getting named.
In some cases.
What I remember is that the whole
It could be like
game build of Blades in the Dark is that you're always under pressure and bad things are always happening. Like the world is intentionally.
But your disguise succeeds, but someone realizes it was last year's passion.
But it's super cool because you're working against that, and you guys are daring scoundrels,
Terrible
so you have the abilities to overcome it.
So and just to remind it,
can't have last year's passion type.
To push the add the die is 2 stress.
Yes.
Okay.
And so talk about resisting consequences. Any consequence I bring up in the game, you guys can always resist. To do so. So everybody pay attention. So to do so, you look at your various, to resist consequences that I bring up in the game, you look at your various qualities. Your insight, prowess, and resolve. Remember before when I described how you determine what those values are?
Yeah.
Right. First dot.
Yeah.
So when you want to resist a consequence, you tell me which consequence you're resisting. I tell you which one of those qualities you need to roll. And then you always resist the consequence, which means it either lessens in effect or is removed completely. My decision. Right. And you can ask me what will happen before you roll. But what occurs is that you roll, and then you take 6 stress minus the highest dice you roll.
So do you want stress in order to have them not notice?
Right.
You.
It's part of the attrition.
Following. So it's either we get heat for our crew, or you take stress, which then later you're gonna have to.
No, when do we
relieve.
During downtime?
Cool off your
during downtime after a score, you can take actions as a crew or as individual members of it to reduce your stress and your heat.
So let me hear what the
score.
Resist will be.
The heat won't happen. If you resist this, it won't happen.
I'm sorry. You were saying that you would describe to me what I had to roll and what.
Oh, sorry. Prowess.
Okay.
And you'll gain a number of stress equal to the highest prowess die you roll minus 6. 6 minus the highest dice you roll.
Right.
And then if you do that, no heat.
All right. And that's it.
That's it.
Right.
You'll take stress.
So you're looking to roll another.
Your prowess
6.
is only 1.
The most stress you could take if you resist is a 5. 5 stress.
But that would be instead of 2 heat still, right?
Yes. You could take no stress.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm a young kid on his first thing and I don't want to embarrass myself, I am going to stress myself to try to put off the heat.
So you have 1 die in prowess?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to roll a single die.
That is bold.
And I'm going to take the... So I end up coming back sweaty and panting and say, oh, I got the information. I had to bend over backwards and dislodge my elbow or something like that.
No, it's not always that crazy, but yeah.
-5.
Yay!
I get 1 stress.
Yep. So you just take 1 stress and the heat doesn't happen.
Right.
So how do you avoid this consequence?
I noticed because I am just as perceptive as the others, and in order to avoid them having noticed me, just as they caught me, I was able to dodge out of the way and take a different route. And in order to do so and still not lose my mark, I had to run around the block and take a lot of chances, and I'm out of breath and I almost lost my mask. And so there were lots of risks involved, but I managed to get the information, lose them, but at huge 12-year-old. Also, I don't know if you know this about albinism, but albinism also has a problem that it reduces your ability to deal with high stress situations, so you're more easily tired out and your endurance is lower.
Oh.
And so stuff like that is actually really high pressure. So having to do something crazy run around the block is really tough for people.
So you come charging back around the block after evading the sight of the clerks and stuff who wander around, and you see Arkady stop his sparklight work for a moment and walk over to the side of this canal. And he bends down near the canal, and there's a bottle that floats down the canal. And he reaches in with he has this hook that he uses to hook onto electrical lines and pull them down so he can work on them, and pull lights down so he can work on them. Yep. And he uses his sparklight hook to hook in and hook the bottle out of the water. And then he uncorks it, and you see him read something off of it. By the way, I'm describing what's happening. If at any time you guys want to jump in and do something, feel free. The fiction is yours to command. Yep. So he uncorks it and unrolls it and reads something on it, and then nods and rolls it up, puts it back in the bottle, corks it, and keeps it floating on down the river.
Oh,
and you were convinced this is how the wraiths communicate with him.
You could send him a nice
note. So here's something that's very interesting. He put the note back in the bottle and put it back in the river?
Yes.
Huh, that is really unusual. Also high risk.
You should go get that bottle.
I know, I'm thinking of, but I'm wondering whether or not that's part of the whole thing where if the bottle goes missing, the people will go, oh, something went wrong, and then they don't come to the meeting. But it seems too good. Okay, I'm gonna try to get the bottle.
Because you need to know if there's like a code.
Yeah.
Or
is that another prowl roll?
That's easy enough to do without rolling. You can just wait a little bit till he's gone and then scoop it out of the canal.
Okay, so it's not like a fast moving thing where they'll dive in and swim after.
No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab the bottle and bring it back to the shop.
Okay, cool.
Dirty, gross water.
So that's the end of that scene. We cut. We're back in this thing. You have the bottle with you with the parchment in it, and you uncork it. Roll it out on the table.
That's so weird.
And on the table, you can see it says 12 bells where the 3 crows caw. It's code.
Okay.
Right. It's obviously a code for where to meet the wraiths tonight. And you guys can just deduce that it basically means that they're probably going to meet him near at midnight, 12 bells. In the central part of Charter Hall, because in the town square there's this huge fountain with 3 crows perched on the shoulder of one of the famous magistrates in the city.
So he already knows to go there, and they're actually going to go there. So I thought the whole thing was that I thought the whole thing was that we were gonna like set up something for a fake meeting.
We have to figure out how he communicates.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to figure out how
the
real
method of communication now. So if you want,
so we're not trying to do this tonight. We're trying to do this.
No, this is just information.
It depends on how you want to change.
Yeah,
the
we
score.
could crash the meeting.
Because now that we have information, we could change our minds. But the whole point was to figure out how the race contacted him,
right?
So that we could do the same thing to sending us.
Yeah.
Which means that it wouldn't make a lot of sense for us to do it like the very next night because I doubt.
No, it should be like a week later.
Yeah,
we can wait a week. We can
because it wouldn't make sense for them to be like, oh wait, we have more next day. We forgot to mention this thing. Come back.
Yeah.